Since 1972, no human has traveled beyond low Earth orbit. For over half a century, the Moon has remained a silent companion in the sky, visited only briefly during the Apollo era, and remembered by many only as a symbol of past achievement. While NASA aims to establish a permanent human presence on the lunar surface, the move from short-term visits to long-term stays requires an architecture of hardware that has never been tested with a crew in deep space. Before astronauts attempt to land on the Moon or build habitats, NASA must first ensure that the new Space Launch System and the Orion spacecraft can perform flawlessly with a crew aboard. Artemis II serves as that proving ground. On April 1, 2026, the mission begins at Launch Complex 39B at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. The Space Launch System stands 322 feet tall. Its core stage and twin solid rocket boosters generate over 8 million pounds of thrust at ignition. Atop the rocket sits Orion, carrying its four-person crew: Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen. The spacecraft is named Integrity, a reflection of both its engineering and the spirit of the crew. At liftoff, the ground trembles as Artemis II climbs into the sky. Within 2 minutes, the solid rocket boosters separate, followed by the core stage as Orion reaches Earth orbit. Leaving Earth's atmosphere is an immense engineering hurdle. However, the mission's primary objective is to see how this hardware performs over a 10-day journey through the vacuum of deep space. In low Earth orbit, the crew conducts a series of critical system checks. They verify the life support, propulsion, and communication systems in the environment of space before committing to the next phase of the mission. Once verified, the upper stage engine reignites for the Trans Lunar Injection burn. This accelerates Orion to escape velocity, more than 24,000 miles per hour, to push the spacecraft toward the Moon. This diagram shows the free return trajectory. By following this specific mathematical path, Orion will loop around the Moon and allow lunar gravity to naturally guide the crew back toward Earth using momentum alone. As Earth shrinks in the windows, the crew adapts to life in microgravity. They manage daily routines and resolve minor technical issues, including a complication with the waste management system and software login difficulties. These challenges are reminders that deep space exploration is a discipline of preparation and redundant systems. Methodical problem-solving is as essential to the mission's success as the hardware itself. Days into the mission, the Moon begins to dominate the view. What first appeared as a gray disk grows into a world of immense detail, with craters, ridges, and basins coming into sharp focus. Sweeping the lunar surface, the crew observes the Orientale Basin, a massive circular scar. They also study the South Pole Aitken Basin, one of the oldest impact structures, serving as the foundation for future Artemis landings and sustained human presence. As Orion moves behind the Moon, the Earth disappears beyond the lunar horizon. This Earth set marks the beginning of a communications blackout, where radio signals cannot reach mission control, and the spacecraft must operate independently. During this passage, the crew witnesses a total solar eclipse as seen from lunar orbit. The sun becomes a radiant ring of light, its corona glowing against the dark lunar terrain. When Earthrise finally appears, it signals that the Moon's gravity has successfully slingshotted the capsule back toward home. Over the next several days, Orion closes the gap, returning across the 695,000-mile journey. Approaching Earth, the crew module separates from the service module and reorients itself, placing its heat shield forward for the final phase of the mission. The capsule enters the atmosphere at Mach 32. Friction with atmospheric gases generates temperatures reaching 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a fiery plasma envelope around the craft. This diagram shows how the heat shield, the largest ever built for a human spacecraft, absorbs and dissipates that energy. Inside, the astronauts experience 4 times the force of Earth's gravity as they decelerate. Once the vehicle slows, drogue parachutes deploy, followed by 3 massive main parachutes to ensure a steady descent. Validating that this heat shield can protect a crew during an aggressive re-entry is the final and most critical requirement for future landing missions. Orion splashes down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego, where recovery teams from the United States Navy secure the capsule and assist the crew. Artemis II does not involve landing or building habitats. Its success is defined by proving that the rocket and the spacecraft can carry humans safely into deep space and back. Confirming that Orion can sustain human life in deep space shifts the program from testing to operation. It provides the technical certainty needed to plan future landings, surface habitats, and a sustained human presence near the lunar South Pole.